Relationship.
Yep, you're good to go.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Extraction Cup, round of 64. We have another Sunday match here. Um, we have the Sound of Leyo versus Party Starters. Uh, Everyone in this match I am very familiar with, as I talk to uh all of these players a lot, and so it's kind of going to be interesting to see how this match goes here. So yeah, I'm going to be Aero, one of the commentators, and I'm here with NamelessFanatic once again. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. So we do see here that the rolling has already started, and it seems that Team Red is going to start off with their protecting RC6, the wildcard tech pick, man of the year, mapped by Miji.
I mean, it does make sense. I mean, I feel like it is sort of biased towards the Sound of Leyo for Rice 6, so it does make sense that they're going to protect that Rice 6. Though I think I would expect them more to protect Rice 2, since I'm pretty sure Yuriko Fangirl or Yellow, as seeded match, can kind of play those type of maps, but I'm pretty sure they can just play anything that the Rice pool has to offer. So pretty sure they're gonna stay out of the Rice department, uh, whether it is in the banning phase, and they're gonna try to use Rice as their advantage for this match.
All right, and we do see that Team Blue is actually going to be protecting LN1, the coordination map for their protect. So we do see here that we have one team, favoring the Rice, the other team favoring LN. So we might have the classic Rice versus LN dynamic for this kind of matchup.
Yeah, this does seem like a Rice versus LN match, and it seems like Red Team is actually gonna ban out Polyrhythm, so no Polyrhythm for this match. Makes sense for
Yeah,
that to
very
happen.
popular band. Yeah, the staggered
Yeah.
releases definitely can make it very difficult for many players to get a good ratio and accuracy on that kind of map. And that's something you definitely don't want out there if it's something you really can't hack that well.
Oh wait, no, I think it was Party Starters Protect, so I think they did protect Rice. I mean LN3. Um.
No, they protected LN1, the coordination
Oh
pick.
wait. Oh wait. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going into the bans. I feel like LN3 would be a valid ban from the Sound of Leyo, due to the kind of like staggered releases throughout the entire map, and that is just like kind of sort of hard to act, uh, no matter who you are. But as long as you like can play the map, then you're good to go. But it seems like most of these players in this tournament are just really not comfortable with this, even though it has been picked in some matches, but kind of trippy map overall.
Yeah, and we do see that Team Blue is actually going to be banning RC4. So, yeah, I feel like this is really is that Rice versus LN. So
Yeah.
it really just depends on here on out. See how these players can actually, hold out. And some of these maps, their picks can very well decide on whether or not they win or lose that kind of match. And we're going to be, oh no, sorry. So Team Red is also gonna ban RC1. Oh no, sorry, pick.
Oh yeah,
Apologies.
they're gonna pick. Yeah, and the Sound of Leyo does ban that LN3, so yeah, totally understandable. The bans are actually
Sadly,
kind of reversed. Yeah,
so yeah, we
yeah,
do have RC1 as our speed pick. It's going to be mapped by Monheim, Lilac Slumber. So this map is very well known to be the consistency ratio map. It really
yeah.
comes down to accuracy because when the when a map like this is very accuracy oriented, there is a very low margin of error, and even a great can cause a loss.
Yeah, this is going to be our dump-oriented pick, which, like you said, will be dependent on the accuracy side of things. But I don't know. I feel like that this is going to be really close in terms of maybe combo at least. But we do
Oh yeah,
see,
for sure.
yeah, but we do see Yellow and It's Nikki going to be playing this map, and the match is now underway.
Starting off, we do see that Yellow is actually going to be holding a pretty stable accuracy. It's Nikki had a little rough start. However, their accuracy is looking a little bit more stable at the very least. We do see Yellow holding a still, a very high accuracy, holding the slight combo lead. However, there's still much more of the map to go, and anything can change at any moment.
Yeah, Yellow having the better start than It's Nikki does, but yeah, I feel like it could be expected since Yuriko Fangirl, one of the best Rice players. I think I forgot to like give an analysis on these players before this match even started. So a quick analysis. Soundy being a rising star in the Ellen department, as far as I know. And Yuriko Fangirl, probably one of the best Rice players in the game as of right now. For the blue team, we have It's Nikki, which is a well-rounded player in Rice, I believe. And Rikumi is an Ellen player, a rising star in the Ellen department as well. So yeah, I do believe that Rikumi. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Absolutely. So we do see here that Yellow is going to be holding that 99.9 mark, staying consistently above it, whereas it's Nikki dropping, to a 99.73. So it seems that their accuracy has been consistent throughout the map. However, that accuracy advantage is going to be onto Yellow, and if something doesn't happen within the next half of the map, then Yellow will have the score advantage, and it seems like they're gonna take the first point.
Yeah, I think that Yuriko's consistency can carry them to get this first point, but Nikki kind of dropping that accuracy a lot, and Yuriko Fangirl still sitting at that 99.9 range, which is kind of impressive on this kind of map. But yeah, we are about a third into the map, or 3/4 into the map. It's kind of insane that somehow these teams can seed this low and then just perform it really well in the early game stages. I think this is like one of those matches where these seeds can just like fight to the death, like on these kind of maps.
Oh yeah, for sure. We do see here that Yellow is gonna have a 6,000 score lead just from sheer accuracy, whereas It's Nikki actually dropped below the 99.7 range. Yellow still above the 99.9. Now, as we're getting to a close into this first matchup, and we actually do see It's Nikki missing near the end of this map. Yellow still holding that full combo and still having that accuracy advantage. That's going to give Team Red the first point in this matchup, leaving the score at 1-0.
Tragic miss from It's Nikki at the very end, but the Sound of Leyo does get that first point, so it is now their pick. So I'd say they would try to go for that Ellen now that they know that they can just easily win on Rice. So they want to test their opponent's skill on the Ellen, I would assume.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good choice to do. But, I think that we can't ignore Yellow's ratio there. 153 perfect count is very impressive.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, he's probably like one of the best Rice players in the game. So, yeah, be sure to watch out for Yuriko Fangirl or Yellow, as said in stream, for future matches, because they are an insane player, and they have shown that they are capable of playing these kind of maps over these past few months or years, I would say.
Certainly. Now with the pick going to Team Red, I think it's pretty safe to say they would go for hybrid. Oh yeah, and there it goes. Hybrid 3 is going to be,
Hybrid 3.
I'd say, the most technical hybrid pick. Actually, no, sorry, the second most. I'd say hybrid 2 is the most technical oriented one. So it's going to be Thesis B, mapped by Mysterion.
Yeah. Mysterion going to be one of those mappers where like they just create the most evil releases. But yeah, this is going to be the hybrid tech, so I'm expecting some good things here. Soundy going to replace Yellow for this one, and I think Rakumi will be coming in for this one.
So yeah, we do
As
see a total swap from both teams, giving us a different, player matchup.
yeah, I think that this is like an intense matchup here. Like both of these players capable of playing LN, and this kind of does emphasize the LN aspect of it.
Yeah, I feel like the score difference may ultimately come down to the LN drops that this map has to offer. On the rice sections, I feel like these players will prioritize those rice parts for accuracy and point gain.
Yeah, but I think we should be starting at any moment now. Um, a bit of a long intermission, but it happens. Yeah, okay. All right, so this map is underway in a moment. Yeah.
All right, starting off, we do see that Saudi actually had a little bit of a rough start, holding a mid 99, around the mid 99 range. Rikumi still holding about a bit high 99, giving the early score lead to Rikumi.
Yeah, Rikumi having that early score lead. Soundy going to unfortunately not have a hot start on this hybrid 3, but it is still the start of the map, so anything could happen from here. And it looks like Soundy is going to climb up that accuracy to the point where it matches Rikumi's accuracy, and then it could come down to a few points. But yeah, as the map continues, Rikumi will be having that score lead.
Yeah, we do see that the accuracy is starting to balance out. Saudi gaining significantly more from when he started, and Rikumi staying pretty consistent with their accuracy. And as this LN techie part continues, we do see that the score lead that Rikumi has is actually staying pretty consistent. Rikumi actually gaining a little bit of accuracy so far.
Yeah, Rikumi gaining accuracy to that 99.7, and Soundy climbing up that accuracy very quickly, going to sneak up on Rikumi, and it looks like it will be the deciding factor, the accuracy here.
That's right. The score lead is actually under the 4-digit. The score lead is very small.
The score lead is shrinking quite a bit as the accuracies are close to being matched up. But as the map is about to close out, oh man, I think
this is going to be very marginal. I think we might see a win here with less than 1,000 points of score difference. Now nearing into the the end of the map, we do see that Rikumi and Saudi both gained accuracy at an alarming rate throughout the map. However, Saudi just isn't able to keep up. I feel like this might have been due to the fact he had a little rough start, and Saudi actually drops a little bit more. It's just further increasing the lead, giving Rikumi the next point, bringing the score 1-1.
No sweeps here, as Rikumi does get that point for their team. As unfortunately, Soundy will be getting that drop, but the ratios are almost similar. I
Yeah,
just realized.
just a one
What?
perfect count. Just the ratios are nearly identical. So that Saudi found himself with like 3 more grades and 1 bad, but that was ultimately enough to give the point to party starters.
I think this is like the second time that I've seen that a match almost went to a tie.
It's
Like,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Wow. Oh
can't
my
believe how
God.
close these matches are.
Yeah, that was really close.
One perfect difference. But it is now Party Starter's pick. And they're gonna go for that Rice 6.
Ooh,
Really
okay.
bold
So they're
pick.
going to be going for the protect relatively early, actually.
Oh wait, no, sorry. It was
Oh, sorry.
Leyo.
Wait, no. Oh, wait. So Team Red picked Team's Blue protect.
No. Team Red protected Rice 6 and they went for that protect. So,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they
It
would
looks
go
like
for the
the
protect early.
picks are it looks like the picks are kind of reversed on stream, but it's whatever.
Oh.
We can tell who picked these maps, honestly.
All right.
But
I
yeah,
think even despite, you know, RC6 being their protect, showcasing that as their, the map they're most confident in, I still can't shake that feeling. We'll still see the very close score that we have seen in the past two matches.
yeah. And I feel like this point could be really close. But this map is kind of really trippy. But I feel like both these players can do really good on this map.
We do see that Yellow is going to be coming in with the mirror mod. It seems that it's going to be helping them out quite a bit. We do see that Yellow is going to have the accuracy advantage right off the bat, actually. It's Nikki having a ever so slightly rough beginning.
Ooh.
Just how we've seen in the previous match, that might be all it takes to actually lose, this kind of pick.
Yeah, Yellow having that accuracy advantage and Nikki kind of dropping the accuracy with a lot of 200s to begin this map with. I do feel that and there's a miss
Oh,
from Nikki. That is
yeah,
going to be very
that's going to be
detrimental.
devastating.
That is
Yeah.
detrimental to their score lead.
Yeah, already a 6,000, 7,000 score lead. Almost already 8,000 into Yellow. Now getting into this long
Oh,
anchor. We do see that both players are able to hit it very well.
yeah, it seems like both players having no issues on that long jack whatsoever. Though did see that Yellow did drop a few perfects on that long jack, but they immediately got into the rhythm of it, and they were able to marvelous that whole long jack.
I think
But
this is the first match where we're actually getting close to a lead of 5 digits, getting close to that 10,000 mark. That miss from earlier has really affected its Nikki, and just the score lead is just continuously growing as Yellow is just going to be able to have a growing combo that it's just nearly twice as large as Nikki's.
yeah, that score lead is increasing as the map is going on, and we are almost 3/4 into the map. And Yellow is still at that 99.9. I don't think the accuracy has moved at all, like since we last
Yeah,
talked
that
about
actually
them.
has been very consistent. Whereas, it's Nikki had a slightly, better accuracy at the start, but due to that miss, we do see that, it has been a detriment in both accuracy and score terms. And it is certainly not helping about the fact that we're getting, 3/4 into this map and getting into this third anchor.
Yeah. And don't get fooled by that. This is the last one. There is still one more. And Yellow finding a bit of act drops.
Ooh, dropping
That
by
transition.
0.1%. Yeah. But because of the miss that it's Nikki had earlier, they do have this, an accuracy and score cushion that they can work with. So, and we see it's
Oh,
Nikki actually dropping again. That just immediately shifted the score lead into Yellow by so much.
I mean, I don't think it would have mattered anyway, as Nikki did get that first drop at the start of the map. But as the map is coming to a close, Yellow is going to run away with this point and get the second point for their team. So it now is up 2-1.
Absolutely. Team Red, getting another point, 2-1 against party starters. Pretty interesting to see what Team Blue would pick next, knowing that there is, their rice picks are slowly diminishing.
Yeah, Team Blue gonna try to pick that hybrid again. I think, at least, but you never
Yeah, I
know.
think,
They might.
hybrid or LN might be a safe bet.
Yeah, it's one of those safer picks for them. So kind of going to decide for now what they will be picking. Pretty long intermission here. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah, it seems that, party starters have really taken their time to think about what map do they pick, because if I were in the position, I would be like, Team Red, has really strong versatility. So a map may not matter as much, especially when it comes to accuracy, because ultimately you really do need a really strong accuracy player in order to get through these first early rounds of the tournament.
yeah. In my opinion, I think Hybrid 2 is the safer pick, and they are actually going to go for that.
Hybrid 2 has very tricky lens, and that actually may work out in the favor of Team Blue. However, will it be able to back it up is the main question.
Same roster as Hybrid 3, I'm pretty sure. I think we should be starting in a moment. All right.
Yep, it's going to be starting at any moment now. Both players are ready to begin.
Here we go, Hybrid 2. There is some kind of dance rules in this map.
All right, off to a very strong start from both players. Actually, both of them
Whoa.
having nearly identical accuracy. Both of them are. Oh, there he goes. Rakumi is gonna find the first noticeable drop in accuracy. Soundy still holding that accuracy consistently, but however, the lead is still very marginal, and anything can happen.
Yeah, the accuracies are almost identical from one another. But Soundy does have that lead. Oh, they find a miss. Oh, that's really bad. Oh,
yeah,
and
that's
Soundy
rough.
does get
That's
that
the
miss
second
again.
miss. There's already a 5-digit score lead to Rakumi. That score lead is already at 14,000, 13,000, and it is just not helping Soundy at all that his accuracy has already dropped significantly. Half of the map is already passed, and there's only one more half left to go. And Rakumi has a lot of, score to work with. They have a pretty safe cushion, to say the least.
That is a devastating miss from Soundy. It is now a 5-digit score lead. That was a really big drop.
Yeah, the score lead is nearing almost 15,000 now. However, Soundy has actually gained a pretty significant amount of accuracy. since that drop. Rikumi actually being pretty consistent in terms of accuracy. However, those two misses earlier may have entirely caused, an unfortunate series of events, and it seems like that Rikumi is going to be taking another point for party starters.
Yeah, it is now 2-2. This match was actually closer than I expected it to be, honestly.
Yeah, it is entirely possible where it can come down to the tiebreaker, but as it stands right now, the score is actually tied up. 990K from Rikumi. That's actually pretty impressive. However, we do see that the perfect count was actually very similar. Even if Saudi had FC'd, Rikumi would have, marginally won by accuracy. So I think it really shows how close these kind of, map picks can actually get.
Yeah, but it is now going to be the sound of Leo's pick. So they're gonna try to get that Rice out of the way. I think they're like
They're going to be
about to pull
picking
it off.
Rice too.
Rice too. Okay, that's a decent pick. It's not a bad pick actually. I'm pretty sure both teams are capable of playing this.
Yeah, this, it's a pretty, this map is all about consistency and stamina. And seeing how, the Sound of Leyo have pretty strong Rice players, this may really work out in their favor. However, Party Starters has also demonstrated, really well consistency throughout these maps so far. So this can get pretty damn close.
Yeah, shout out to Bucks too for this custom map. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this. It's just kind of like stamina wild card, and then you have some jack patterns.
Yeah, the occasional 1/3 jack patterns can definitely throw you off guard if you're not prepared for that. But seeing as how these players perform so far, a miss choke is certainly possible. Say they do not, want to lower down their guard. They kind of want to, stay focused, lock in.
Yeah, here we go. Nikki having a rough start so far. And okay, Bancho's being Bancho
Nice.
once again.
Oh wow, we do see It's Nikki actually having a rough start. Actually starting off with a low 99, if not a borderline 99. However, Yellow holding it very impressive accuracy and perfect count, staying at a 99.7, and is actually keeping it that way too.
Yeah, impressive accuracy from Yellow here. And it's not too far behind. Just going to have the lower accuracy for now, as the map did just start. But we do have these jack patterns coming in, and we have these split shows and jump shows combined together. They're gonna trip you up. Yup, see, there you go. There's a miss from It's Nikki.
Yeah, those mini jacks can really throw you off. Yeah, we do see that there's already a 5-digit score lead this early into this map. Barely just, getting to that 1/4 mark. Yellow still very consistently holding that accuracy and is actually remaining at a 99.99. Very impressive ratio there. And, the fact that It's Nikki missed isn't just helping at all.
Yeah, It's Nikki with the unfortunate miss. Going to drop the accuracy by a long shot. But Yellow's still holding it at 99.98. That's impressive from them. And it seems like they're just strong on this map.
Oh yeah, this is definitely their forte. Just seeing that kind of accuracy is very frightening. That is very intimidating, and this could very definitely reconsider what the blue team will pick.
Yeah, I feel like this should have been their protect instead, because it seems like they just do way better than they did on Rice 6, honestly.
For sure.
But yeah, we are about halfway into the map, and we do have these hamstring patterns coming in. and these kind of can trip you up if you're not careful enough to hit them.
However, Yellow is just perfectly hitting them, getting, just nearly 300 Gs throughout most of the map. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. Its accuracy should definitely not be, scoffed at. That accuracy and ratio could still be very impressive, but with that miss at the beginning is definitely throwing off their score and accuracy.
Yeah, impressive act from Yellow, and we do get into the final part of the map. No more after this, or at least I think. But
Yeah, it's just the occasional LN, some jumps and hands for the rest of the matchup. What is bro doing? What is bro doing? That 99.99. I think this actually might be the most, the highest score this tournament will see for this, specific map. This is actually insane. The accuracy is like, I'm still trying to find a word for it. It's actually insane. I don't know how else to put it.
Oh, wait. It did drop by a little bit, but it doesn't matter as much.
999. That's dude, that's crazy. 42 perfect count. Oh man, that's crazy to see that. Next to its sneaky score, where they have 10 times more than that, and just to see that is absolutely frightening. A 999,000. That is scary. Oh my god.
Wow.
So that is going to bring the score 3-1 in the sound of Leyo's favor. However, Team Red is running out of Rice picks, whereas Team Blue still have a decent amount of hybrid and LN options. So I'm willing to bet that's something they're going to pick. Maybe they might realize that the situation they're in is not that great. So, they may go for, I'd say, a hybrid 1 or LN.
Insane. Don't you feel like this match is kind of equal in a way?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, from what we've seen, these can definitely get very close, but in just some maps, it can be very one-sided. So it really just ultimately comes down to the order of the picks. I think that really matters, because that's what we have seen so far.
Yeah. And I feel like that the Sound of Leyo are going to have to kind of strategize on what they will pick next. But I feel like LN2 would be picked out, would be the best option, I feel like. But you never know. They might just pick LN1 at this point.
And as I predicted, they're going to be going for a hybrid 1. Don't worry, mapped by Alex Dunk.
So the hybrid's kind of going to be wiped out.
Yep, this is the last hybrid pick. And as we've seen from the hybrid maps, it could go both ways. And this is very hard to tell on who could take the point, because it simply comes down to what happens in the match, whether someone or not chokes, or just someone just holding that, simply holding that better, consistent accuracy.
Yeah, we do see a hybrid 1 picked here.
Okay, now getting through the intermission, we can see that, this is going to be one of the longer picks in the map pool, and I'm pretty sure the longest hybrid pick. So holding that accuracy can really matter a lot due to the length of this map. And we're going to see that, Yellow and Rikumi are going to be going up against each other yet again. And we'll see how they start off this map.
Pretty first timer for Yellow to be playing these kind of maps, but here we are. And it does seem like that both of the accuracies seem to be really close so far. As
We're seeing, we're seeing a 2-digit or even 1-digit score lead, if not just a tie.
nothing to scoff about.
Accuracies are very similar, and the lead is constantly switching. However, it just really depends on who can hold that accuracy as the map goes on.
Yeah, but accuracy is just going to matter a lot. I feel like the ratio can kind of be dependent, honestly.
Wow. Oh wow, if Rikumi can hold that combo throughout the whole map, we may see another time. And Yellow drops again! Early into, oh my god, 1/4 into this map, and we already see 2 misses from Yellow. This is not going to help them out at all. Rikumi has a lot of cushion to work with, and even if Rikumi misses, it's entirely possible that they can still hold the lead.
Yeah, not looking good for Yellow at all, as they did drop 3 times. Unfortunately, those were all really big misses. And it seems like Rikumi is just running away with it for the most part.
Yeah, the fact that those misses weren't clean at all.
But Rikumi
really?
misses.
Oh, wait. Rikumi actually, misses. However, like I mentioned earlier, Rikumi does have a decent cushion to work with. However, that cushion is almost non-existent now. Only a 3,000 point lead. And there's still another half of this map left to go. And I guess they'll have to go through this break. And once that break is over, they'll have to lock in for the rest of this map, because even the slightest mess up can really throw them off.
Yeah, the score lead is shrinking, so it might just go to the other team no matter what happens. I feel like if Yellow does hold on to this combo, then they can take the point and bring them to match point, which could happen if Rikumi seems to find another drop. But
that's right. However, we do see that despite the fact that Yellow had 2 misses, they have that accuracy advantage. But the fact that Rikumi has only missed once means that they also have the combo and score advantage. However, that can shift at any time depending on each player's performance. And as the map is getting to a close, getting to the last drop, it matters from here on out. This is what truly matters.
Both players hitting that section, and here we go, second drop of the map, and we'll see if the score lead does flicker.
The lead, very marginal, actually shrinking into the favor of Yellow. However, just a little bit under 3,000. That's not a lot to work with. A few greats and too many perfects could definitely, switch the lead. However, the map is very close to an end, and it seems that Rikumi is actually going to be able to hold it, giving another point to them. Wow. Another tie with, the score being 3-3. Yellow had that strong accuracy advantage. However, the misses were just too messy. And, Rikumi's misses were pretty clean.
Really unfortunate. I feel like if they did FC this, then they probably would have gotten the point. But unfortunately, they're going to kind of miss out on that point. And this could be a potential tiebreaker. Who knows?
Very, very likely. As it stands right now, it seems that Team Red is going to have the pick, and is actually going to pick Rice 3. It's going to be... I forgot which one Rice 3 was. It's going to be...
She who Mars the Skin of Gods.
The Showgazer map.
Yeah,
this one is going to be pretty... it's going to come down to accuracy yet again.
I feel like this is an interesting pick, in my opinion.
There were definitely bursts in this map where it could throw you off. So I feel like these players have learned by now to, to stay on guard. There's nothing else much to say about that. It really comes down to who could not choke is what I'd say at this point. Seeing how, you know, there have been really unfortunate misses that have cost points on both sides.
This is going to be an interesting one. I think Rakumi's going to be playing this one instead of it's Nikki.
Yeah, so we do see one swap. Yellow being the dominant Rice player, staying there yet again. However, if I'm correct, this is going to be the third time that Yellow is going to be, you know, in a match. So after this, they're going to have to be the team Red is going to have to force a swap with Soundy coming in after this map.
That's right. And I think we are going to start this soon. Pretty long intermission. I think there's kind of ref issues, I think.
Yeah, it appears so. Yeah, I think this is the first match I've commentated where, you know, the score can actually get very close. So actually, no, it appears that it's Nikki is actually going to, yeah, stay in the lobby.
Oh, okay.
All right, we should now be starting at any moment now. And, you know, at this point, the tiniest bit of score can really matter.
All right, here we go. Rice 3 going to be played. This is 312 BPM, so these mini jacks are going to be really evil.
We do see that it's Nikki is going to have the first noticeable slight accuracy drop. Actually dropped a little bit more. Yellow is still holding the very consistent accuracy as we've seen in most, if not all, of these Rice picks. Now the
this is gonna
score
be
is just going to be, just going to be ever so slightly bleeding into Yellow's favor, whereas it's Nikki, consistently holding around a 99.77. Yeah, these long jacks can definitely affect the score and accuracy of these players. However, they both seem to be managing it pretty well, actually. Yellow still above the 99.9 mark. It's Nikki still staying at around 99.7, almost getting into that 99.8 territory. And we do see that the score lead is going to be increasing to almost 3,000 points, which in terms of score and just accuracy difference, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's insane that Yellow's still holding on to that accuracy. But for now, score lead is going to increase to 3,000, I believe. It's insane accuracy from both players.
However, we do see that one player is just going to simply have that more dominant accuracy being shown as, the fact that the score lead is 3,000 just from sheer accuracy. It's Nikki actually increasing accuracy a little bit over time, However, I can say the same as for yellow, and the fact that they're both just ever so slightly getting accuracy just means that it's Nikki cannot catch up.
Yeah, it seems like that yellow will be running away with the point so far, I believe. And oh man, this is going to be nasty if a miss is found here at the near end of the map.
Yeah, however, now we're approaching closer to the end of this map, and yellow actually now having a 4,000 score advantage here, whereas it's Sneaky is it's ever so slightly falling behind in score, and it appears that we'll find another point in Team Red's favor.
Yeah, 998 from yellow. That's insane.
Yeah, that is going to bring the score 4-3. Just 1 point left until Team Red can claim the victory in this matchup. However, it is going to be Team Blue's pick, so they decide their destiny from here on out.
Yeah, no more hybrids. So they're gonna be forced to either pick Rice or they're gonna have to pick LN, which there is 2 LN maps remaining on board.
Yeah, we still have the LN1 and LN2 maps, and they actually haven't chosen their protect yet. And they're now going to pick their protect. LN1, Dear My Memories, mapped by Eclipse. And to see, they're now choosing their protect. This is the kind of last resort kind of pick. And we'll just see if Team Blue can pull off a point and bring the matchup to a tiebreaker.
Definitely a do or die matchup here. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary in this position if you are on the team of party starters.
That's right. Just to even think about, the fact that this is the map that decides whether you lose or bring the matchup to a tiebreaker, it's definitely very frightening. I've been there before.
Here we go, last map.
So this map is pretty short compared to I'd say average compared to the other maps in the map pool. However, this being the coordination pick, accuracy can really matter a lot here. But we do see that Soundy, having to be forced to come in is not going to be helping as it stands right now, because Soundy is actually going to have, the more significant accuracy drop. Actually, falling below 99 for a brief moment. Rukumi actually, sorry. Oh, wow. Oh, dropping that accuracy.
Both accuracies
are nearly identical.
Wow. Oh my god, this is actually going to be scary.
Yeah, oh my god, the accuracy is identical. They're both gaining. Actually, no, Soundy dropped ever so slightly. However, just even falling the tiniest bit of accuracy can really hurt that score, especially when the margin of error is small, if not non-existent.
This is going to come down to the accuracy, even if both players are FCing this. Wait, was that a tie? What?
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
No,
yeah, that's.
no,
oh my god. No way.
Not on a map like this,
dude. The accuracies are they're just matched. They're matching.
Oh, they're matched.
Rukumi is gonna have the ever so slightly score advantage by 42 points.
Oh no.
Even perfect.
Oh my god.
Matters the most right now. Oh my god.
What is happening right now?
2-digit score difference.
2-digit score difference on a map like this.
This is okay. The last drop right here. will determine whether or not Team Red is going to win this matchup or Team Blue, bringing this matchup into a tiebreaker. Every single perfect matters. One great can really hurt, and a miss will most definitely determine who wins. But now we're getting to the end of this map. It is going to be a ratio that matters here on out. Both of these players have to prioritize perfects like nothing else before. As it stands right now, Rukumi is actually going to win the
288
so slightly, ever so
points.
slightly, with 288 score. Wow, that one great
288
was,
points.
oh my god, that one great actually gave the win to Rukumi, and now the matchup is at a tiebreaker. Oh my goodness, tiebreaker hype, guys, tiebreaker hype.
Tiebreaker hype.
Oh my goodness, there's
It
no
is
shot.
official. It is official.
Wow, that's crazy.
What?
Okay, so the tiebreaker, the amateur arsonist's handbook, is going to be mapped by Rule Blazing and another mapper. Knowing that this map is 6 minutes long, consistency is going to be prioritized like nothing before, especially combo holding.
Yeah, and we do see Yellow potentially playing this map. I think they're coming in for this map. I think they're going to replace.
Yeah, we do see that Yellow, throughout this matchup has been the more consistent player in the team, and it seems that Yellow is just stepping in at the right time to back up the team, whereas Rukumi is actually going to stay in the lobby and participate in the tiebreaker.
That's right. And it all comes down to this now. I wonder how this is gonna go.
Honestly, it could go for both ways, but seeing a tiebreaker is definitely frightening on both sides.
Yep, and here we go. We are now seeing the Amateur's Arsonist's Handbook.
So we do see that Yellow is actually going to have the ever so slightly, accuracy advantage right off the bat. Rukumi actually matching that accuracy, however. The score lead is under 4 digits, under 1,000. And Yellow is actually going to have the first noticeable drop in accuracy, going below a 99.7. Rukumi is staying consistent and actually shifting the lead by their favor.
This is really scary, as this is really close overall. This whole match was close, but it all comes down to this: who is going to win the tiebreaker? And it seems like that Rukumi is going to have that accuracy advantage as of right now, as they're sitting at the 99.8 range. Yuko, Fangirl, or
that.
Yellow.
I'm sorry.
Yuko, Fangirl, or Yellow going to climb up that accuracy quite a bit.
We actually do see that Yellow increased a good amount of accuracy, now matching Rukumi's, just shrinking Rukumi's lead and bringing the score to just a 3-digit difference. And we actually do see that the score is actually shifting between both sides. Now as we're getting to the fourth into this map, we do see that the accuracy difference is still very marginal. They're still holding, they're matching each other even up to this point.
The accuracies are neck and neck right now. The score lead is still really close. It's shrinking as of right now, I think. We don't even know who has the score lead right now. But Yellow did find that 200.
It's way too consistent to tell. And the fact that, Yellow actually had a slight accuracy drop, almost falling below a 99.7. However, Rukumi is still consistently at a, 99.76 or 99.77. And that is actually going to nearly bring the score lead to 1,000 points.
It's still under 1,000 points. That's the craziest thing about this. This is just so close on the tiebreaker.
Oh my god. Now getting into a third into this map, the score lead has barely, if not changed at all. It's just down to, as you know, the map goes on. Yeah, as the map goes on, accumulating those perfects can really hurt you. And seeing as things are this close, still almost halfway into this map, ratio is what matters the most. And we do see that Rikumi is actually going to have an ever so slightly accuracy drop yet again, shifting the lead to yellow this time.
The accuracy is so close as well. That's the craziest thing.
This is like the closest I've ever seen the match. There is just nothing like it.
The score lead is flickering.
Oh my god. Now, you know, getting to the halfway mark, the score lead has still not changed. It's just constantly shifting and, you know, shrinking. However, we do see Rikumi for the first time in this map going up below a 99.7. It seems that the LN drop and, you know, yellow having almost a 0.1 accuracy advantage. We do see that the score lead is actually going quite a bit, ever so slightly.
Yeah, I think yellow is just winning off of ratio right now. Both players still FCing the map. Oh man, this is insane. I don't know how a tiebreaker can be this close, honestly. Like, it's
so far we've seen either very close matchups or just, if not, just very one-sided. However, the tiebreaker is actually very close. So we do see that both players are very proficient in the tiebreaker styled maps. However, we do see for the first time that, you know, a team has a 1,000 score lead.
This is the first time that we do see a 4-digit score lead. Oh, this is going to be really close. Map is not over yet.
You know, both of these players now holding over a 5,000 combo and getting, you know, approaching to the end of this map. Just the score lead is just ever so slightly increasing, now getting closer to the 2,000 mark.
I mean, it's still really close. I mean, I think this is still too small, even if it is a TV. I mean, some people would say that this is still really big for a TV, but this is still really small. Even a miss can do the deals, man. Like, honestly, it might just come down
that,
to the
like,
ratio.
even a great can very much hurt that score. And seeing as Rikumi actually lowered, like, Rikumi's accuracy actually still decreasing, is not helping with that score lead. And, you know, yellow's accuracy now actually getting closer to that 99.8 mark. And the score lead has actually increased to 3,000. And as we're nearing into the last 20, if not 15 seconds of the map, we do see that yellow is actually so far going to take this win.
The lead is extending by a long shot. And I think that does conclude the match.
Wow.
What?
Holy absolute cinema.
On the tiebreaker.
Oh my god. That is insane.
What?
Both players, you know, having a constant battle on the lead. It ultimately came down to just who could have that better ratio, the better grade count. However, Team Red is going to take that win 5-4, bringing them to the winner's bracket, and Party Starters being dropped into the loser's bracket.
This was probably like the closest match I've ever commentated in my life.
I'm gonna have to say the same here.
Oh my god, I can't believe what I just saw. This whole match was insane. I mean,
yeah, like
it was just very equal, but it just came down to the ratio, honestly. And the ratio winners are red team, the Sound of Leyo.
Yeah, Soundy and Yellow is just going to be taking this win. This matchup was so unbelievably close. However, we will now be seeing who they'll be facing up against in the winner's bracket.
And they will be up against FFR D9 team next week. And oh man, this is
the seed 17 versus the seed 2019.
Okay, that's an insane matchup. That's an insane matchup.
Yeah.
Honestly, Zubin
And
versus
as for the
Unico
other,
Daniel.
and and as for the
Oh
other
my god.
team, they'll have to take their chance in the losers bracket. However, we will be checking out who they'll be going up against. Party Starters is going to be going up against Del Tung
Del
Dan.
Tong Dan. Yeah, nice name there. You're so funny.
Seed
Man.
58 versus 39. It is just absolutely crazy how this match ended up with, and I don't think this is like my third ever match commentating, and I don't think I would ever see a tiebreaker this soon, let alone a match this close.
Yeah, pure insanity from what we just saw there. But yeah, there is one winner, and it will be Party Starters. I mean,
So the next up map is going to be, the next up map is going to be Girls Lost Tour versus Katakbasi, and I'll actually be tuning in that match. So if you stick around until then, This is NamelessFanatic, and the other commentator is Aero. I was happy to commentate this match. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for watching this match. I hope you guys enjoyed this match as we did, and yeah, hopefully more matches will be like this. So yeah, we will see you guys in about 32 minutes. So
All right,
yeah.
guys, we'll see you next time.
See ya.